Earlier this week on Monday's livestream, we spent the entire 2 hours right here on our New England Mountain single-player map, shooting as many bobcats as we could, and in that 2-hour time frame, we killed in the area of 40 or 50 cats. Right about half of those would have been males, so probably 25 or so respawns. The hope is, in doing all that we can get a diamond bobcat here on New England before the release of the Emerald Coast map, and hopefully all that effort we put in on Monday will pay off. So unfortunately, bobcats drink from 3 to 6 a.m. so we're going to be doing more night hunting than I would prefer, but if it pays off and if we can get a level 9, I think it'll all be worth it. Now, we probably won't exclusively hunt bobcats in their drink time today. We did spend basically all our time on Monday's stream hunting particularly one area of the map, and that would be the northern kind of creek up here. Now, we did check this one in the east as well, killed a couple of bobcats, not that many. This area up here seems to be the best area for bobcats, but that of course does not mean that it would be where a diamond spawns on our map, so probably we'll get to the end of drink time. I think we can make it most of the way up this creek, if not all the way by the time 6 or 6:30 rolls around, and then we'll just kind of run around in the daylight and see if we can find one elsewhere. There's tons of other places bobcats could be on this map, and frankly, we're just never going to be able to run into all of them, but this area being a spot where we shot so many, we have to go back through here one more time, and we may actually at the end, if we have time, even go to multiplayer a bit. How did we do that? Did he move again? Or was it just because we couldn't see that well? Right through the brain. Good thing we didn't do that to a level 9, but interesting way to get started. But at least we're starting to get into some bobcats. We did spend the first probably 20 minutes of the hunt really not finding any. And I've got to say, on the stream, we used the 223, and it did fine. This is also a thing. They apparently, and this has been a thing with Mexican bobcat and the bobcats here in New England, will just kind of freeze in place sometimes when running, but the 223 did an okay job on stream. The 243 does so much better. I don't know where the first one was. Oh, they're actually more or less side by side. But that definitely kind of helped us on the second one since it did freeze. Made for an easy follow-up, and again, one of those things, it doesn't require them to be shot to freeze either. We still have lost the second one. It's sitting right over here. But what I don't want to happen is a level 9 freezes in place and, requires us to shoot it stuck. I just hate when that happens, and normally we can find a way to either fast travel away and come back and solve it, but it's just one of those things that I want to be on the lookout for. So kind of two different observations here. For one, we've got a bobcat still walking into its zone, and it's past 5 a.m. like it's already light out, and that's kind of the other half of this. We've made it maybe halfway, because we started down here and are going up around, and we're more than halfway through the drink time already. It really does go fast, especially when you're just running along these creeks. Unlike, something like, say, moose grinding or whitetail grinding, when typically you're going from lake to lake. When you've got this much water, where they can drink literally anywhere, you kind of just have to cover the entire thing. Now, I don't know how we lost track of both of those things. There's one of them. I'm not sure where the other one went, and I think we have that again, where he's kind of stuck. Now that time, if we made a brain shot, it was intentional. And the other one, oh, that's going to be him right there. I don't know how he got over there and then was hidden. The thing about it is, he may have just been frozen in place behind a rock, but second brain shot of the hunt, this one being the first time we meant to do it, and one that I think is going to be our first gold at 24.78 with a double lung, liver, and stomach shot. That had no chance, but I think every bobcat that we've shot had a chance at gold. The 2 level 6s, if I'm not mistaken, both were silvers. And then as for the 7s, the first 2 were brain shots. Finally one that we shot correctly and get the medal for. That's interesting. I knew there was a bobcat over here because there were a bunch of whitetail to the left that were alert, and it didn't warning call or anything. Not that that necessarily means much for how big it might be, but sometimes it can certainly feel like the higher level animals warning call less, so no doubt it's spooked. I just don't know what direction it's spooked in. There's a run track. So where did it go? Really pulled a sneaky maneuver, but another mythical. We have shot between the last multiplayer hunt and our stream. I think this will be the 6th mythical, plus we had one more max estimate level 7 on the live stream, so lots of max estimate cats. We just haven't had a level 9 show up, and I mean, if we can get a good broadside shot at this, we'll go for it, but not going to be too concerned with a fairly low estimate, and I don't think a mythical Bobcat can make diamond anyway, so even at that, probably best to just get it down and keep moving, but that's going to be our best one so far. And at least we got to see a max estimate before the end of the drink time, 26.62 for that. Double lung and liver almost got the heart, but it's definitely encouraging. Just need to see one level higher. And another max estimate, this time a 7 again. Kind of makes me wonder if we should spend more time up here, because in multiplayer in that video we did, I think about a week ago, this was the area that we had both of our max estimate tracks, and they were more or less back to back. For just a second there, we had the exact shot we wanted, and then he moved. That's gonna work and get him to finally stop doing that. But yeah, it was just south of here. We were running around up in the mountains, not during their drink time, and both max estimate tracks were right up there. Now, I don't necessarily remember, wow, that is the opposite of what we've been seeing, but I don't remember where the max estimate tracks we had in single player were necessarily, but the last two here today were definitely in that same general region. If he would just lift his head, try to get him at range with the 243, I kind of think we shot too far forward. It'll bring him down, it just may take a while. And I kind of gotta wonder, we shot a mythical red fur type in that last hunt. I think they're maybe just uncommon or something, but they were before. It was tan, brown, and red. You would see basically even numbers of all those. Tan certainly seems to be the common fur type now, and I'm guessing the other two are more of an uncommon. And by the way, that 4 is still going, so we'll try to get him taken down. That may or may not be a vital, not that it really matters for one that low level. And according to what we have on the map, there's one more Bobcat drink zone about 800 meters up that way. It's almost the end of their drink time, but I think we can scoot up to there. And that, I'm guessing, is the last cat. I don't know why it's going that way. 3 max estimates, again, 2 mythicals on a 7, just like on stream. And it kind of, oddly enough, ends up in the exact same place where we started. We've shot a bunch of nice Bobcats, and I feel like we should go through here again before the Emerald Coast comes out. So now I'm not sure what to do, whether we should go into multiplayer later or come back through this area, and maybe if we really have enough time, we can do both. But that was a 26.51, which I think makes it a tiny bit smaller than the last. Basically that same shot though, lung, liver, stomach, didn't punch through to the far side lung. But yeah, like, we're getting a bunch of good ones. We just need one a little bit better. So go figure. Max estimates all over New England today. We've got a big 4 raccoon right there, but that's not actually, do they freeze as well? That is so weird. That's not actually what we're after at the moment though. What I just had was a Eastern Cottontail track, but it is also a max weight, so lots of stuff to go after today. And I mean, oh, that is a rabbit, but not the right one. Good that we have plenty of stuff to chase, and I often think back to, I think it was our first stream in early access here on New England. We shot a legendary Bobcat somewhere right down here by the starting outpost, and of course it trolled. Now, in early access we wouldn't have been able to keep that trophy anyway, but still, it's kind of a reason I wanted to come down here and hunt in this area. As for this guy, I gotta say he looks a little weird. I thought maybe that might have been a gray piebald, but I guess not. 11.05 is decent. Left lung shot barely as he was turning there. And let's see if we can figure out where this rabbit got to. We finally have just now tracks, so it's gotta be right in front of us here somewhere, and if we stay on him, eventually it's just gonna be sitting there and probably take off, hopefully in a spot we can get a shot with a shotgun, but it has already made us work for it, so hopefully it's going to be worth it. And it is the light gray fur type as well, which is a pretty good looking one, but it's all for naught if we can't find the thing. Finally, literally, it's stuck right here, and it was a level 2, so 1.76 scoring gold, a 2.29 kilometer tracking distance, and by the way, just to kind of show what happened, it had warped all the way over to here, then warped back this way, crossed the water, we spooked it as we were tracking this, so it fled in this direction, and then came over to here, all that for basically barely into the max estimate. 0.2 below diamond, which is a lot when it comes to something that weighs less than 2 total kilo. Lots of max estimate tracks, whether it's bobcat, raccoon, now the eastern cottontail. No diamonds to be found here on New England. So it probably comes as no surprise. We're back here hunting for bobcats in their drink time. Spent a little bit of time during the day, and I just figured, honestly, our best chance of getting a diamond bobcat before the Emerald Coast Reserve is if we're just here on the river. We're seeing a bunch of big ones. I think if we keep this up, maybe we have a chance to get one. And the other thing I thought of, we should check this lake and this lake. For the most part, from what I can tell, there's not a lot of lakes that bobcats drink at. They seem to prefer the river or creek, however you want to call it. But I do think areas that are close to it are probably worth giving a look. Like, we have checked, I think, this lake here and these couple of lakes. There's bobcats around, and especially up here in this northeast corner where we're finding the big ones, I think we better go there. And for the first time, we do have literally anything other than a tan fur type. Now, it is the red variation, which I think is still uncommon. And of course, that one is making it about impossible to get a decent shot at it. I think they still are nothing like crazy to where we should really, waste our time with this, but at the same time, we have seen all these other variations, and there just hasn't been anything different. I was hoping we could sneak that shot into the lungs. That second shot may have caught a lung, but I'm sure you can tell it's getting light out, so we gotta keep this fairly quick. We did not get the lung, ended up in the intestines and vertebrae. What was the first shot? Oh, that wasn't even close. It was kind of, well, actually, I guess it was close. It was kind of tipped up like this and had the shot slotted through there. It might have got liver or lung, but either way, would have just been a silver. But nice to see something just a little different. And I think we've been all the way out through here already, so we might as well jump to those couple lakes because we only have about 30 in-game minutes left. And here we go again with a max estimate 7. This is a red fur type as well, so interesting. All that time we couldn't find a singular one other than tan, and then I think it's 2 in a row with another max. But if this dude could quit doing that and walk into the open, that would be great. I'd like to make the shot on that just because it's going to be a gold. Not that I think we'll tax it. And again, back when the furs were a little bit different, we've got a diamond red for sure. But finally out into the open, I think unfortunately, likely to be our last kill of the hunt. He is up to 27. That's a pretty good estimate for a level 7. But I don't see any more around here. There was actually one female bobcat at the northeastmost lake, and it looks like just one here. But he is at least a good one. And if nothing else, our, 6 or so hours just in these last couple of days, specifically hunting bobcats in their drink zones, will go a long way towards helping us get a diamond bobcat after the Emerald Coast comes out and whenever we get back to this. I'm still hoping if I have a little bit of time between now and the time this video comes out, I'll get back out here and check these areas again. But we've shot a lot of bobcats. I gotta think, if there's not already a 9 on our map hiding somewhere, one of these is going to respawn as a 9 eventually. But I think on that note, that's going to do it for this video. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.